lounging in the warrens. "Smells like wet dog," Nix said, just to say something. "Bah," Egil said, and raised his hammers as if he could smite the offending stink with them. "It smells like a diseased dog that bathed in the dead mire and then rolled in its own shite. I'd breathe deep the smell of a merely wet dog." "No doubt," Nix said, unable to resist. "Your people are said to have well, let's call it a fondness for their herd dogs." Egil stomped his boot in the muck, splashing Nix with mud. "These are new trousers," Nix protested. "My people are likewise said to be impatient with sharp words from small men with dull minds." "A dull mind?" Nix said, his pride pricked. "Me?" Egil shrugged under a wet cloak that hugged his mountainous form. "If it's apt. And by small, I spoke of girth, of course." "What?" Nix stopped in the street and turned to face his friend, pointing at Egil's broad-nosed face, barely visible under the cloak hood. "Small, you say? Me?" "Lacking in girth, I said, and I made only a general observation." The priest waved a hammer non-committally and started walking again, the mud of the street audibly sucking at his boots. Over his shoulder, he said, "But again, if you think it apt." Nix ran after him, further splashing his trousers with mud. "I don't." "Ah," Egil said insincerely. "Well enough, then." "Well enough what?" "It's inapt. So you say." "So I say? There's not a woman in Durfolen who'd attest to your claim of small girth. Kier only the most recent. And as for the rest, I was enrolled in the conclave before I'd seen 20 winters. No one of dull mind could have done so. And, I'll add, only a hillman of infinitesimally small mind would think otherwise." "Infinitesimally," Egil said, his tone carrying a smile. "Nice. But you quit the conclave, Nix." "Now I know you're just trying to be irritating. You know well that I was expelled." "So you say." "So I say?" Nix stomped his own boot in the muck, trying to splash Egil, but instead spattering himself with mud. He cursed, and the priest ignored him. "So I say? That's what you say?" "So you say. That's what I say." They both stopped, turned, and stared at one another a long moment. The rain beat down. Thunder rumbled. Each broke into a grin at the same moment. "You did call my people fackers of dogs," Egil said. "I meant nothing," Nix said with a tilt of his head. "Trying to distract myself. And it warranted a rebuttal, I concede. But small of prick and dull of mind? One or the other would be fair, but both? That's bringing a blade to a fistfight." Egil nodded. "Fair point. Apologies. I meant neither, of course." "Apologies, likewise," Nix said. He checked the sky, their surroundings. "Let's just get this over with." He walked on, and Egil fell in beside him. "Aye," the priest said. "What is it that we're looking for?" "A good spot." "There's under an hour remaining." "I know." Nix ticked away the moments in his mind as he sought a likely intersection, searching for promising alleys. Egil hung one of his hammers from a loop on his belt, took out a pair of dice from a belt pouch, and shook them as he walked, the sound barely audible above the beat of the rain. Colvin's light was visible low on the horizon, though the cloud cover turned it into a shapeless silver smear. Minir, the smaller, green moon of mages, would rise within the hour. Nix had to have everything prepared before that. "Facking rain," Egil said from the depths of his cloak. "This is a night for Gad's ale and fish stew." "It is," Nix agreed absently, eyeing the surroundings. "I blame you for my lack of drunkenness and the empty belly." "Me?" "Of course you," Nix said.